these on.
Welcome to the Dish on Dogs. I'm your host, Mike Gould, and you're listening to the Dish on Dogs, a show about dogs, why they behave the way they do, the differences primarily between the human brain and the dog brain. That's what this show is about, explaining behaviors to humans and how you should properly react to them, and more importantly, why they're doing them. So dogs do very natural things. We've taken them out of their natural world, and now they live with us in a crazy, toxic human world. So what we do is teach humans how to react to dogs' behavior. So Hounds Town, USA is home to the happiest dogs on earth. Since our inception, we've cared for over 1 million dogs. We have 17 locations in 6 states, and we're really strategically but rapidly growing across the United States, and it's a very exciting time for Hounds Town. Hounds Town is a fully interactive pet care facility. So what does that mean to people? So dogs are required by nature to interact with other dogs. Just like fish swim, birds fly, dogs are required by Mother Nature to interact with other dogs. So children need to play. It's a necessity that children, young children, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, they interact with other children. That's part of their socialization process. You don't keep them isolated and locked in your home. They'll never adapt to our crazy world. So dogs are the same thing. Joining me today, as always, is the lovely Ashley Pizzo.
Hello.
Hello there, dear. Tiffany Gallardi. So Tiffany, hi Tiffany.
Hi.
So Tiffany's with us today because in the next segment, we have her lovely dog Zeus. If you're on Facebook Live, you can see Zeus. He's chilling out over here. And it's quite an amazing story, I think. It's an example of, we talk about turbo dog training. One of the things we do is turbo dog training. That means turbo implies that it happens fast. So we like to think that we can go to people's homes, or they come to us and a dog has a behavior, whatever the behavior is. Let's say the dog digs, jumps, humps, dumps. Whatever the behaviors are, we teach human beings how to react to that behavior. So the dogs can understand what you want from them. So that's turbo dog training. So when you think about this, dogs are ancestors of wolves. Do you agree with that, Ashley?
I do agree.
All right, good. Ashley's in agreement with that. That's good. So we're off to a good start. She agrees on that. So wolves have been roaming the earth for 750,000 years. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
750,000 years. Wild dogs have been roaming the earth for about 32,000 years. Domesticated dogs, we began domesticating dogs about 15,000 years ago. Sorry. Right, that was a test, see if you're paying attention.
I was like, I had a dog.
Right. Yeah. So we started to domesticate them 15,000 years ago. And what that means is we started to bring them into our human world. We took them from the natural packs where they roam. So there's wild dogs right now. And if you look at wolves, wild dogs, and domesticated dogs, they all kind of look the same.
Yeah, they haven't changed.
Thank you. They haven't evolved much, right? They haven't grown thumbs. So they don't have thumbs, opposing thumbs. And opposing thumbs is our primary way humans navigate through the world. We open doors with our thumbs, we prepare food, we do everything. And our world is built, the human world is built about 5 feet off the ground, so somewhere thereabouts, right? Your cabinets, everything.
Right.
But dogs are about 18 inches off the ground. So just think of what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with creatures that do not have a very sophisticated brain. They're highly emotional, social creatures, but they don't have a complicated human brain.
Right.
So they're kind of been that way. It's not getting any bigger. It's not going to change anytime soon. We know that. They haven't changed in 32,000 years. They're pretty much the same. So now we take them from their litter. You know, we think we're loving people. We are, I guess. We bring these dogs from a litter, and we bring them into our crazy world. And our world is crazy. And some people's worlds are crazier than others. We live in particularly people on Long Island, honestly, there is a hustle and bustle. Everybody's moving. They're working 10 to 12 hours. Moms, dads working, trying to make ends meet. They're raising children. And that's what we're going to talk in the next segment to Tiffany about, because she's, I'd say, I don't want to call her typical, but she's a part of the Long Island landscape. She works a lot. She went out and she got this beautiful dog, Zeus, and he kind of turned out to be a problem for a while because he didn't understand the rules of her house, and he started taking advantage. And it's not even bad. It's unacceptable. It's natural behavior,
right,
but it's unacceptable. So the only way a dog can go get the chicken cutlet off the counter is to jump. He can't go get a chair. He can't ask for permission. So we're dealing with these opposing brains. The very sophisticated human brain that's complicated and toxic. And then we're talking about the animal brain, which is opposite. It's very simple. Dogs just want to be safe and secure or not. So I can't see this thing here. But how much time we got? We're good, Mikey? Oh, there we are. So we're always trying to figure out, the dog is trying to navigate in his world. And there's no way, his natural parents aren't here anymore. Mom and dad would have bit them, picked them up with their canine teeth, because the only mechanism a dog has is his what?
His mouth.
His mouth.
Right.
He eats with his mouth, he kisses us with they do everything with our mouth. We do everything with our hands. So right off the bat, we're at a conflict. And then the skills we have to raise a dog is our human skills. So our skill is to talk, to touch. So what we talk about in turbo training, and I think we're going to give a good example of this, the 3 rules. What are the 3 rules at turbo training?
Don't look, talk, or touch.
Don't look, talk, or touch. And you know how easy that is for those of you who are listening here? You know how easy it is to not look, talk, or touch? It's easy in theory, but
it's easy for us, I think.
It's right. Well, it's so easy that most people can't do it. Most people can't do it because your dog sucks the emotion and life out of you. Most family members don't look at each other, but we'll stare at our dog, we'll talk to our dog, we'll touch our dog. And there's reasons for that, obviously. There's reasons. The dogs are innocent, they're there for you always. So there's a couple of things that we have that dogs don't have. Number 1, self-awareness. So self-awareness means you can look in the mirror and you can assess yourself.
Right.
Thank you. Be introspective.
Right.
And you also have free will. Every human has free will. Domesticated dogs don't, because we've taken them hostage. We've taken dogs hostage. We brought them into our home. They can't run away. They can't open doors, so they're with us. And then we run out to Petco or PetSmart, and we get the best food, the best everything. And we're loving people, but we love them to the point where they're way out of bounds. So that's really going to be the topic of the show. So we're going to talk about turbo dog training.
Yes.
We're going to talk to Tiffany. We're going to show people Zeus. And during our 7-minute break, for those of you lucky enough to be on Facebook, you'll be able to see what we're talking about. And Tiffany will tell how we met, her experience coming to Hounds Town, USA, home to the happiest dogs on earth. And she'll tell us this is, what our experiences were and how simple this is. So our method of training is so simple, most people can't do it because their human brain, they're thinking, they're analyzing, they're Googling. I went to a person's home today, Wally and Marianne, a delightful woman and a delightful dog. But it was a lot of analysis going on, a lot of they had 2 dog trainers, they vet salespeople, everybody's bombarding human beings with advice. And it's so simple that you just have to relax. One of the things when we're walking outside later, I'm going to tell Tiffany, just relax and move. And to the degree she can relax, the dog will relax. On our very first show, we talked about tension on the leash.
Right.
When there's tension, when there's stress on the leash, there's stress in the dog. So we actually transmit that emotion right down the leash because it's unnatural. Why do you have such problems with your dogs on a leash? Because it's unnatural for an animal to be tied to something. If they're in the wild, they have this free will where they can run, they can come forward, they can go backwards, but now they're tied to you, essentially. And they have to deal with all of the craziness that we live in, cars, garbage trucks, mailman, etc., etc., etc. Right, Ashley?
Yeah.
So we'll talk about, last time we talked about the benefits of Hounds Town. It's fully interactive daycare. Dogs come, run, jump, hump, and dump. Things that they get screamed at for home, they can do it at our doggy daycare, at any one of our 17 locations throughout the country. Gabish?
Gabish.
All right, good. All right, so I think we're going to take...
2-minute break.
It's a 2-minute break. We're going to come back and talk to the very lovely Tiffany Gallardi, her amazing 5-year-old. He doesn't look 5. He looks pretty healthy, rascal, right? He's a rascal. When I went there for the first time, I thought I was going to meet, like, Jeffrey Dahmer of the table. I don't know, the way the description was. But, all right, listen, guys, join us back after the break, and we're going to meet Zeus and Tiffany, and we'll see what her turbo training experiences were like. See you in 2 minutes. That was good.
Yeah.
So far. Yeah. Jackie. Yo, Jackie.
Jackie's always watching.
I don't know if she is tonight.
Yeah, I can tell.
You can?
Yeah,
Yep.
How can you tell who's watching?
Well, we know what's your
When
mom's
you
name?
watch,
So that's my
when you
mother-in-law,
have it on-
Dolores.
Yeah. If you
Oh.
there's like a comments off and on thing, so you have to just make sure it's on.
Yeah,
Then
as
you
long
can
as
see.
you're friends with someone on Facebook, it should tell you.
I just see it. I see everything.
Oh yeah, because we're the admins.
Oh, really? So you can't see
Where's
the
my husband?
comment?
He's not even
Where is
watching.
that? Son of a gun.
Yeah,
What's your husband's name?
Greg.
Right.
That's what I don't mind too. I'm like, you're not watching the radio show.
And then what do I want to give a shout out to Fast Eddie Core.
Yeah, don't forget about
We're going
it.
to do that right now as soon as we come back. He's a good boy. It's hot in here, but we don't
It is
need-
hot in here.
It's always hot in here.
Yeah.
This thing keeps sliding out.
Oh, there she is.
Tie tighter.
Oh. Zeusy. Hiya, Zeus. You're a nice boy. What's happening?
My husband's like, I'm watching. I'm hearing you complain about me not watching.
All right, that was a test.
Yeah, that was just a test. Right. We got to talk about Greg. It was his idea to take that collar off. He's in trouble, Greg.
Has he done training with you? Like, do you know him or?
What's that?
Do you know him or have you done training with him?
Who,
Or?
Greg? No. No, I've never met him. The poor guy's working all the time. I don't know.
Am I allowed to pet him?
Yeah, he's just going to wander around. He's actually doing much better than I expected. So you never know how when dogs come to the airport.
Well, they don't like the airport?
All the noises. We'll talk about it on the radio. Yeah. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Dish on Dogs, where we dish out our opinions about dog behavior and how humans. You know the old saying. What is the old saying? The more people we meet, the more we love our dogs.
Oh, okay.
Right? That's a
I
good
didn't know
thing.
that. All right.
Right. Present company excluded. We have some lovely people here. Tiffany Gallardi. We have Zeus. Before we go into this segment, I got to give a shout out to Fast Eddie Corrigan from Cutchogue, New York. He's a golf pro. He passed away last Saturday. His son just hopped in and was, asked if we could just, obviously offer our condolences to Fast Eddie Corrigan. He was a golf enthusiast, and he just passed away last Saturday. So shout out to Fast Eddie Corrigan from Cutchogue, 86 years old. God bless. Now, going back to so we're here with Tiffany Gallardi, Dolores' mother-in-law. Greg is watching, so we gotta watch ourselves here. So we're here with Zeus. So Tiffany, Zeus is a 5-year-old yellow lab.
Yep.
Get a little closer to that microphone.
Oh.
There you are. So Zeus is a 5-year-old lab. You've had him since he was how old?
12 weeks.
12 weeks. So
Yep.
3 months old puppy. You had him since a puppy. So you've been coming to Hounds Town in Ronkonkoma for daycare primarily over the years.
That's all.
That's it. So then all of a sudden, about 6 months ago, you had called us.
Yep.
All right. Tell us about what was going on at home that prompted you to call us.
Well, we had a baby, and after about 6 months, when she was about 6 months old, I just couldn't take Zeus's behavior anymore. It was it was always a problem, but it was a manageable problem because there wasn't a baby involved. But now my attention is towards her, and she requires all my attention. So Zeus, he felt jealous. He was, our only baby. Now this little
Right.
invader came in. So he was acting out even more than he was, normally. So I just decided that after coming to you for years for daycare, and listening to your show and talking to Ashley, that you were the person who could help us.
What was some of the behaviors? So you talk about out of control. What was some of the behaviors? And the bottom line, the problem, or one of the problems, is his physical size. He looks like he weighs about 90 pounds.
He does.
Okay.
He does.
So when you say he was out of control, what does that mean to you?
The minute you turn your back, he's counter surfing. There's like the butter. He loves butter. I'll be cooking something. I'll turn around. The butter's gone. The dish towels. And he runs. We have this gigantic coffee table, and he runs under this coffee table, and you can't get him. So the only way to get him out is to throw him treats, because who has time to...
got it.
Yeah, so he knows. He knows
trained him very well.
He did. He definitely trained us well. So he knew that I'm going to take this, and I'm going to go here, and they're going to throw me some treats, and he'll come out and he'll give you what you want, but you have to give him the treats.
You have to bribe him.
But it just was too out of control. I mean, people come over, it's just too much. You're having dinner with company, and he's like standing over you, like literally over my mother-in-law's shoulder while she eats, and staring at her. Like, I mean, this is Zeus, and this is my mother-in-law eating, and
This is Dolores.
Dolores, yep.
Okay, all right. So these are, and the truth of the matter is, some of these he's not vicious at all.
No,
he's not aggressive. But if a 90-pound dog knocks, God forbid, Dolores or your child down, it's just as bad. They might as well be aggressive because it's still dangerous.
Yes.
It's a dangerous behavior. So you had this. I recall there was a chicken cutlet problem.
It was in every sort of food problem, but the chicken cutlet is what we had when you came over, and I feel that he sensed your presence, so he wasn't acting out in any of the ways he does normally.
All right, so explain that experience. I remember it pretty clearly. I came to your house, I knocked on your door.
He knocked on my door, Zeus jumped. I mean, he barks like he always does when someone comes to the door. But you came in and said, you didn't pay any attention to him. You said, don't look at him, don't pay attention to him. And automatically he just calmed down and laid down like right. You're the dog whisperer.
Right.
The chicken cutlet was on the counter. We're in the living room. Zeus is nowhere near that chicken cutlet. Mind you, I'm sure if you weren't there, that chicken cutlet would have been scuffed up. So, he was not so, his normal self when you were there.
Right.
But you were able to give us the techniques needed that we can use on a day-to-day basis
right.
to keep him, to control him.
Right.
And have him not control us.
Right. So one of the things, what I'm hearing you say, so one of the things so it looks like almost a magic trick. When Ashley and I go to people's homes or anything, people get frustrated because it looks like a magic trick. They say this isn't even my dog. But we are doing things that are very specific. It's just not visible by a lot of humans, like a magic trick. We don't look, talk, or touch. So right, I walked in, I usually tell people don't touch the dog, because most people are holding the dog back. They're restraining the dog. So just by restraining the dog, that creates this jumping and pulling. So we stopped touching, then we stopped looking, and then we just went around your house as though the dog was invisible to us. And that's what we're going to demonstrate, hopefully, during our break in the airport. In the airport, by the way, we're going to do a little demonstration on Facebook, but airports are very stressful places for dogs because there's so many things happening here. There's PA systems. We take these things for granted. PA systems, people rolling luggage, automatic opening dogs, windows, carousel carts, different floor surfaces, marble to carpeting. This, for most dogs, is very stressful. So we're going to take our chances during the break, and we're going to work with Zeus for a few minutes outside and show the simplicity of this. So I came to your house one time,
mm-hmm.
and things were pretty good.
Yep.
And it stayed that way.
It did, for the most part.
For the most part. Then it regressed a little bit.
He did. He didn't regress so much. Now that my daughter is more interactive with him, when we're telling him, but my biggest thing was that he drops whatever he has when he has it in his mouth, which he does now.
Right.
So, but my daughter now, she's no help because she now feeds him her
right.
toys and they play together and stuff.
Right.
But he will, if he gets the toy from her, if I tell him to leave it, he will leave it.
Right. And children are a distractor, obviously, for dogs. My grandchildren are distracted to me. I'm nervous around my grandchildren because they do weird things, right? They're jumping, they're screaming. I'm not saying Jillian does weird things, but children by nature do weird things. They make sounds that most dogs get triggered by. They drop food. They're doing a lot of things. So a child is difficult to manage. But what you have generally, we like to say, you have two children, two babies. Zeus, Jillian will grow up. She will grow up and her brain will develop and she'll be doing more complicated things. She's going to go to school. She's going to go to college. She's going to do all these amazing things. Zeus will never. He's stuck at 2 or 3 year old, and he doesn't see it, and he's staying down on the ground, 18 inches. So for him, as we just talked about in the first segment, in order for him to get the chicken cutlet, he had to jump. So one of the first things we teach dogs is just not to jump. We don't touch a dog unless they're 4 feet or on the ground. So, and then the other problem, and it's very typical that mom and dad and other humans in your life have different opinions about things, right? And that's where some conflict always develops. Mom and dad have a different idea. Everybody had dogs, so if you had a dog when you were 5, you want to recreate that in your dog. And it's when you make it simple, set simple boundaries. We didn't teach the dog to sit or to stay, right? We never had to. We didn't have to teach them these complicated behaviors. Sitting and staying. Who cares if the dog sits or stays? You just don't want them to run out of the front door, and you don't want them to steal your chicken cutlet. I'm sure Greg and Dolores don't want him stealing your chicken cutlet. So here we are now, and so what's your experience been since I was there?
Zeus really is not, I would say 85% different of a dog. He listens. I mean, granted, we keep the magic collar on all the time, so he's awake.
Right. The magic collar, by the way, is a piece of we use, I wish I had one, but we use 911. Oh, right. So
it's similar.
Yeah, okay. So it's really nothing. This magic collar is nothing.
This magic collar is not nothing. It's everything.
But you know what? We're going to stay and talk about the magic collar because you know what? Everybody wants to buy these magic collars from me. I can sell them for $100. They're not magic. It's the way they use it. We're going to take a break. I think we're going to do a demonstration out here, and then we'll have Tiffany and Zeus back in to talk about that experience that we do outside.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? We're going to do that.
Okay.
We're going to, Ashley will walk around a little bit. We're just going to play around with Zeus. And we'll stay on Facebook Live. You guys out there in Facebook land, you're going to be. This is very insightful. This dog had literally no formal training tonight, and when I was at your house the one time, and I came back to give you a different collar. I think something happened. But anyway, this is the simplicity of turbo dog training. Hounds Town, USA. Come back after the break. Watch us during the 7-minute break on Facebook. All right. Let's see. All right, go ahead, get to it. You guys go out there, bring your treats. I'll bring the ball, bring the bed.
Should we go out there now?
Yeah.
My husband wants me to tell you that he met you. You bought a car from him, or for that girl.
Oh, for
Yes,
Talia.
Talia.
Natalia.
All right, be careful what you say around here. Yeah, I remember. No, you did a great job. Oh, that's right, I did meet him. I forgot that I actually did meet him. He was there. He was great. He did us really,
No, he's like, does he remember
good
me?
man, I do. Good man. All right, let's see what's happening. What'd you do with the pen? Don't get it? No. All right, so here we have Zeus. He's not pulling. Ho-ho! He's not jumping. We're going to put him in a designated spot. If you notice, Ashley's relaxed. There's no tension on the dog's leash. This to me is amazing. This isn't a setup. This isn't something that Ashley's been training Zeus for years and years. This is a few minutes. Look how happy. Turn left. And he's a little tired. He must have had a long day at the office. Turn left. And then when you come. And then slow down. Ask him to sit. There you go. Drop the leash. Tell him to stay. So this is it. This is the simplicity of it. There's nothing here. There's no. And by the way, we don't give him treats for this. Go back to his side. We're not giving treats for this. No treats. We don't bribe dogs with treats. Go put him on his bed. Watch how nice this works. The only time a dog gets a treat, food. is on his bed or in his crib. Here you go, Jeff. You got treat. Oh, here we're going to give him a treat. So, keep it simple. There's not big things. We use this nylon leash. Whoops, there's that ball. You go over there. So here we are at the airport. You can't see, but there's distractions. There's people. This is an isolated world. All Zeus's requirement is to keep his 4 feet on that couch. So now we're in the backyard. We're playing frisbee. We're playing whatever we want. Does that make sense? This is not forceful. We don't even talk to dogs. So we didn't say, go on your bed. This is not oppressive. This is relaxed. Relax. So one more time, we get the hint. Then pick up his leash. And then let the mom do it a little bit. Yeah, let her walk alongside you. Just walk. Go right. Right? Yep, good. Go. So go. So it's a fluid movement. Look at how nice. She's relaxed. There's no tension on this leash. Make her right. Perfect. Come right between us. He looks like a service dog. Get him on your left. He's a little confused because he's Ashley. That's it. Keep moving. So she's doing an amazing job, but it's not as easy as it looks. It's hard to just be natural. If you look at her walking, you wouldn't know there was a dog there. And here we are in the airport. It looks like a service dog, for Christ's sake. Make her right. Good. And then we'll try to distract old Zeus. Keep going.
Thank you.
There goes a bunny rabbit. There's food. She keeps going. Keep going. And then make her right. And head towards that bed. And just tell him to go towards there. Tell him to go place. As you get there, put him on the bed. Go ahead. Tell him go place. Good boy. Good. Give him a treat. Just relax. Give him a treat. Ashley's right behind you. Give him a treat. She's not asking to drop the leash. Then walk away. So, there's no craziness. There's no drama. When I go to people's houses, I ring the doorbell, and there's mayhem. There's drama. There's a ritual. The dog gets triggered by the doorbell. The family gets triggered by the doorbell. And all of this crazy tension goes on. So this is kind of good. I mean, we never know how these dogs are going to work out here. We really don't know. But we always get some resemblance of obedience. We're going to go back in the street. The reason he's laying there, because it's cool. It's tile. So this is for those people who are dressing your dogs up in sweaters and everything else. These dogs are hardy, and they want to be nice, cool place. We're going back in, and we're going to finish our show. We're going to talk to Tiffany some more. Nice. Here you go, here. Let me just get the ball there.
Good boys.
Nice.
60 seconds, guys, 60 seconds.
We're almost done here. Just stay with us for this next segment. What do I do? Hand me my coffee. It's right there. All right, well, that was pretty good. I mean,
That was really good.
yeah. I mean, to be able to walk through the airport, I mean, there's not that much traffic right now, but I think you did fine, considering.
Zeus.
10 seconds.
D, can you see it live? It's gonna be
Yeah.
In 5.
I just can't see if there's
4,
comments or anything, so let me know if.
Oh, yeah, there's. I'll text you.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Dish on Dogs. I'm your host, Mike Gould. You're listening to the Dish on Dog, where I dish out opinions and advice on how to understand your dog. It's not so much about training your dog, understanding what's going through his mammalian brain compared to our very complicated neocortex, this very complicated executive brain. Your brain is in conflict. Your human brain is in conflict with the dog brain. So once we can do that, once we understand the limits and capabilities of dogs, and we don't put pressure on them, they can't be everything for everybody. They can't be, they just can't. They can't run marathons with you. Of course they can, but if you put, not all dogs want to. And we don't breed discriminate. Isn't that true, Ashley?
It's very true.
So we don't discriminate. Could you imagine if you went to a school and the school teacher or the school didn't take Irish kids? You know, you would be beside yourself.
Right.
So at Hounds Town, USA, we have dogs of every breed, every size, three-legged dogs. We now have zooming Rosie. She has no two legs. She's down to 2 legs, and she's one of the happiest, inspirational creatures you'll ever meet. We're going to have her on maybe next week. But my point is, dogs are resilient. This is why we love them so much. They don't judge you. They're not toxic. They're not racist. They're not homophobic. They don't care. They just want to know they're safe and secure. You need structure. They need structure in their life. They don't need discipline. I hear this word discipline, and this is not a heavy-handed method. This is Mother Nature's method. We, of course, do correct bad behaviors with a little snap of our nylon leash. And that's what we were talking about before the break. Our methods and what we do. So we don't look, talk, or touch. So during the break on Facebook, we took Zeus out. Ashley worked with him a little bit. We kept him on our left, and we put structure in his life. In 5 minutes, we put structure in his life. Then we switched it over to Tiffany, and then we told Tiffany how to put structure in the dog's life. And it was interesting because it's counterintuitive. It's weird. It's a little weird not to look, talk, or touch your dog, and to just move morphically through the airport, and the dog will follow you. So, and she did a good job. So how did you feel doing that, Tiffany? Like, what was your thought process when we were doing it?
The first time I did it was a little weird not to, I don't know, because I'm always watching him when we're walking and stuff. I mean, it takes getting used to,
Right.
like any of your training.
Right. How has he been on a leash? Do you walk him a lot?
Because, you know what, it's cold out, and with the baby and mommy by myself, it's hard to do it.
No, that's good. And that's actually, I recommend you're better off.
Yeah.
If you have a fenced-in backyard, why put the dog under pressure? If you can't walk your dog, if you who are listening and watching us on Facebook, if you can't walk your dog like Tiffany just walked her dog, meaning there was no tension, the dog wasn't pulling, he wasn't barking, the dog was perfectly focused on Tiffany because we focused him on Ashley. So this is so simple, people can't do it. So my point is, if you can't do that, if you can't be so relaxed and walk with your dog, and it doesn't matter, I train people in wheelchairs to do this. So this isn't something where you gotta run with the dog. It's not physical. It's the antithesis of physicality. There is no physicality. I can't barely.
It's more physical for them to pull on a flat collar.
Right. Well, right.
The
So,
whole time you're
right. So you have one of our
leash.
black collars there. Where's one of our little black collars? Throw me one of them. Because we were talking about this, and it's kind of funny. Or if you don't have that at Kennel League, just throw that over here. So I kind of laugh because we go to people's houses, and for those of you on Facebook, this is a piece of nylon. It's nothing. It's a nylon material. We have them made a special way. It's very high quality stitching. This particular one doesn't shrink and it doesn't stretch. The ones you buy online usually don't have the quality to this. But regardless, there's no magic to it. It's not a pinch collar. It's not a electric collar. It's not a chain collar, and it's not a flat collar. So it looks magical. So I go to the houses and they say, "Where do I get them? I want to buy one." it's not the magic. The magic is in the correction, how you manipulate the leash. And when you're in the dog's head and understand. So this distracts thoughts, meaning if a dog is looking at another dog, you want to be able to correct him and distract him from his current thought process. And once he's distracted, we praise him. We don't use food reward. We use natural love. It is positive reinforcement. We use love and physical love. That's positive. Shoving a beefaroni down a dog's throat is not love. It's actually enabling. It's enabling. So we don't do that. And once you get it, and here's the other nice part, and I think Tiffany can attest to this. Zeus is 5 years old. So most people think, well, 5 years old, it's too late. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. So what do you think about that statement, Tiffany? Talk close to the microphone.
That's definitely not the truth.
What?
I learned that in 24 hours, Zeus was like pretty much a new dog.
Right. Yeah.
And I was amazed. I was amazed because it's so simple, and I didn't really think I really thought I'm just throwing my money away. This is never going to work.
Right.
And he really is a new dog. And everybody who comes to my house who knew him, who's known him before, just couldn't believe that. Even my niece, who was there with you during the training, Paula, she couldn't even believe that the change in him.
Right. Right. And we see this all the time, and there is a simplicity to it. And our biggest challenge is teaching humans, right? So Ashley and I kind of got the dog thing down, no problem. But it's how we communicate this to humans, because when I'm saying these things, humans don't understand what I'm saying. I don't give food rewards, so right off the bat, we're in a whole, there's dog behaviors that would say that by me saying that is crazy, because they're saying you should shove treats down the dog.
Well, and you kind of did that.
You did all these things.
Yeah.
And I would argue, just like you said, you did what we call substitution. The dog would take something, he'd go under the coffee table, and then you'd give him a higher value treat to drop that. So it's funny to me, especially when nobody gets hurt. It's funny to me because I got this big 80-pound dog, and he's literally trained the whole house. It's his house. It's no longer your house. You're there to feed him, take him to the vet. It causes a lot of I've seen people, it's really stressful for families. The last thing you want to do, you have a little baby running around. I don't even know how people do that. I couldn't deal with a 15-month-old baby. The dogs are one thing, but children are tough. And then you have an 80-pound dog stealing your dinner, chicken cutlets. Greg comes home for dinner, the chicken cutlets gone. So it's stress and drama. So when we come in and we just relax everybody and the dog, it just develops the quality. It actually, you have, as I would like to say, you could have the best dog you've ever had, or if you kept going down that path, you'd have it would be a nightmare. I think you said that this is getting too much. This is the last straw. I can't do it. It's not like you're an evil person. But at some point, you got to go on with your life.
Yeah, no, it was too much, and the best thing I ever did was call you. And I mean, you changed us on how we handle him.
Well, how's Greg doing? Is he still a problem child, or?
No,
Greg's listening.
He's listening.
Greg's a nice guy. What's the name of the deal?
Chevy, Hyundai, Mazda, 112, the Messenger Group.
The Messenger Group. Honest to God, I'm not just saying that. We bought a car from him, so I never tell anybody. I don't. Endorse anyone unless I had an experience, and Greg was the man. So if anybody's looking for a car, new car, used car, that's a side deal. This is a non-paid for endorsement. No, because we had a good experience. So Greg's
the experience is everything.
Right, exactly. And the same thing for the dog.
Yeah.
So I get it. I don't know anything about cars. I don't know I know I turn the key and I drive off with them. That's all I know. I don't know about motors or anything else. So, and the dog is the same thing. You don't need to know the complicated, you don't have to know about golden retrievers. You just have to know how to set boundaries and put structure back in the dog's life. And I think the most amazing thing is how quickly the dog gets it. Like, they're kind of like waiting around for years and years and years for somebody to say, I need this structure, thank you. Thank you for not letting me get the chicken cutlet, because it's not good for me. And I love it, and it's very emotional to me, too, because when we get these, because some of these things are at the point of, like, crisis. And this is not by mean people, as I said. These aren't people that the dog peed on the floor and they're bringing them to the shelter. But their lives are unraveling because of a dog sometimes they become very aggressive. When you use food reward, actually, if you don't have the leadership skills, it actually sometimes makes the dog aggressive. That's a topic for another show. But if you're a vending machine of food, if the dog barks and you throw a cookie at him, he sits, all these little all these behaviors, you're not offering leadership. You're bribing a dog. And some dogs, not all dogs, take advantage of that, and it escalates very quickly. You know, dogs mature very rapidly. So every week, every month, every year in a dog's life, they're moving quickly, they're maturing quickly because their life cycle is shorter than ours. So it was really a great experience to go there. I like it. I love when these transformations can happen. And the only way the transformation can happen is if the human trusts us and listens to us. Because we can't train dogs. We can't train dogs for people. The dog literally looks up the leash, and if Tiffany didn't do what we said, just say, all right, there's Tiffany. She's a sucker. She'll give me a beefaroni. And so it's really bad. Sometimes it's physical. Sometimes dogs drag people down the street. This weather, you break a hip. We're taking our break. We're going to come back and talk about Little Shelter. Hounds Town, USA. We're good. All right, dear. Thank you. So,
Someone's watching in Siberia.
Siberia.
Why?
Serbia. Sorry, Serbia. Somebody's watching from Serbia.
No, somebody's watching in Serbia.
It says greetings from Serbia. We are listening to your radio show in Serbia. I don't know who it is.
Ask. You going to stay for the next segment? You don't have to if you don't want. It's up to you.
We'll see it through.
Yeah, it's only 11 more minutes.
Yeah, it goes fast.
It does.
And then we got to get out of here fast because we have a...
Well, you can bring your whole the dogs don't evolve thing back to they don't evolve, so they have to behaviorally adapt to their environment change, right?
Yes. What does that got to do with anything?
Well, that's what you were just talking about at the beginning of the show.
The thing is, we just got to get in and out of here fast. That's all I want to know. So they can...
We want to take that.
Oh, you want to take your banner down?
Danielle.
Danielle.
So good.
Hi, Facebook. How's Steve? Are we talking to?
Is Steven watching?
Oh, we don't want y'all trouble here. Steven! Good boy. He's a good boy. He better be or else. No problem. If anybody messes with our Danielle, problem. Actually, I won't, but Ashley will take care of it.
I'm not away with it.
Nice. That's one less thing we have to do. So you're talking about evolving. All right. We'll talk about rescue shelters.
Yeah. All right.
Why if you don't hurt Zeus?
Well, Dave was saying earlier, he almost always ignores the dogs at the shelter, and people look at him like he's crazy.
Right. That a girl.
There's a squeaky toy.
Yeah.
He had it.
Yeah. So help me a little with this, with the charity and stuff. Rosie. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Dish on Dogs. I'm your host, Mike Gould. You're listening to the Dish on Dogs, HoundsTownUSA.com. If you want to know about anything we're talking about, go to HoundsTownUSA.com. So we had, I think, this was great. We're live on Facebook. We took Zeus. Zeus is a 5-year-old golden retriever.
Yellow
lab. I've been doing this 35 years. I get them wrong. But it doesn't matter. So he's this big, powerful dog, and he just needed structure. He was out of balance. We talk about balance. We all need balance in our life. So we put some balance in Zeus's life, not by hitting him over the head with a newspaper. We don't use pinch collars. We don't use shock collars. We don't use chain collars. We set simple boundaries. As I said, we don't even teach him to sit. Who cares if he sits? Sometimes that's people over-control their dogs. Anyway, that was nice, right? Because we never know. When you're live on Facebook, W.C. Fields would not work with children or animals because they were unpredictable. So we had this great experience. We're doing good, right? Well, the last 5 shows that we did live, we had some good experience. No mess-ups yet. It's just bound to happen. Yes. But anyway, now we're going to talk about Hounds Town Charities. Hounds Town Charities is something near and dear to my heart. It's our philanthropic part of Hounds Town USA. So we've been pretty successful. And when I say, if I'm talking about me, I'm really talking about my staff. My staff is the backbone of what we do. So I never like to give the impression I'm talking about myself, because I am really a very small part of everything. So Hounds Town Charities has been working, we network with local shelters. One of the best shelters on Long Island. One of the best, Zeus sees somebody outside. They're staring. Because you know why? They're staring. They're looking. So Zeus is letting us know that. So So we interact with all the shelters, primarily the municipal shelters, because they are the depository, really, of every. Just give him a little correction. Good, thank you. Perfect. That's it. Go ahead again. Good, that's it. Look up here. Good. We're training Zeus as we speak. Relax, that's okay. Zeusy, good boy. Hang on, folks. We got to take a break here so I can help Zeus understand. Don't forget what's happening. He's staring into a window. He sees movement. What he doesn't realize is he sees himself. So he sees his own movement here. This is why they're not that bright. But anyway, so one of the best. So we deal with shelters, right? Right now we have a shelter dog from the town of Brookhaven. What's his story?
We have Bruno. So Bruno was a owner surrender. They had a couple kids at home, and he's a big, probably at least 80-pound pit bull. And he doesn't have an aggressive bone in his body, but when he runs around knocking kids over, that became a problem, and they had no knowledge of how to handle him.
Right.
So they surrendered him to the shelter, which is a shame. Because the shelter it's not the shelter's fault, but it's a very hectic environment. So
yeah, it's dramatic. So municipal shelters, they're public safety organizations. They're not really tasked with rehabilitating dogs. Right. They're not tasked with any of these things. They're required to take problematic dogs. Right. Nobody's turning in
handle them
and manage them. Right. So anyway, Bruno is a perfect example, and we kind of use him, and we had him on a couple of weeks ago, probably on Facebook.
Yeah.
But so Bruno, for anybody looking for a really cool dog, he's anatomically this is the problem. He's probably 80 pounds of muscle.
Yeah.
He does, as Ashley said, he doesn't have an aggressive bone in his body, but he's got this high energy. If you just pet his head, he's ready. He would be jumping up and down, and he was stimulated by almost any slight change in the environment. And we have him down to a really balanced place. He's kind of a cool dog. He's actually going back to the shelter next week because we've had him for over a month now.
Yeah, that always happens.
Right. So he's got to go back, unfortunately. So if anybody is a single person, he always would do better with a single person or two people. Not really good. When I say good, not around children,
right.
Not around elderly people.
For that he's aggressive.
He's not aggressive, but if he knocks down, as we were talking about earlier, if Zeus knocks Jillian down the stairs because he's jumping around, it's tragic. So and I think that's kind of what happened with Bruno.
Right.
He knocked somebody down, but it was kids. So he couldn't. Right. He's not. So he's like a bull in the china shop. So Bruno, and you can watch him on how do people can watch that videos of Bruno?
They can look at Bruno. We're gonna post a video tonight of Bruno, and it'll be on Hounds Town Radio Facebook page. But we'll also put that on our charity page.
And we'll put it on, right. So we have these amazing videos also on YouTube. If you go to YouTube and
just type Hounds
search
Town.
Hounds Town, and you'll see all these videos, and you'll see all versions of dogs: territorial aggression, fear-motivated aggression. Remembering, as we said earlier, the only way dogs resolve conflict is with their mouth. They are captives. They're our captives. They're our hostages. And how we manage them is sometimes really crazy. All right. So let's talk a little bit about Little Shelter in Huntington. Is it Huntington? It's
yes.
Yeah, Little Shelter. This is an amazing. I've been doing work with them for probably 15, 20 years. David, our friend David from Little Shelter, he's a friend of ours, a friend of our shows, and we work cooperatively with him. And that's what we try to do because they're very nice, respectful people. And in return, we're nice and respectful. It's a simple formula. And we can help them out anytime we can. In fact, David called me last week, and he has a dog at his sanctuary that he wants us to look at. And I can't wait to do it because it'll be fun for us to do that. Yeah. So Little Shelter, if you guys are looking for a dog, they have an assortment of really nice dogs. They just don't turn them out. They really... what do you call that when you screen people? They vet people. They just don't give them to anybody just because. So if you have a 10-year-old child or 8-year-old child who woke up on his birthday and said he wants a dog, don't get him a dog. 8-year-old, 10-year-old children, they're not going to be responsible for the dog. So unless, like Tiffany has taken responsibility of Zeus, Jillian can't take responsibility. So it would be ludicrous to get Jillian a dog because she can't be responsible for it. So the same thing. So just don't run to Little Shelter or any shelter or puppy stores, of course not, to get a dog for your child. It's nice to introduce animals into a child's life, and they can do certain things. They could brush them, they can groom them, but they can't be responsible for the dog. Right. At the end of the day, the adults, the adult humans, are responsible for the dogs. Is that right?
That is.
So Little Shelter, Google it. Little Shelter, talk to my friend David over there. They have some really cool dogs. Don't go to buy a dog. Are you crazy? Why would you go out and pay money to buy a dog when, you know what? My little friend Zeus here, he's like a therapy dog. So people spend $20,000 for a therapy dog. Yeah, I got a therapy dog laying right next to me right now. He was trained in a half an hour. What more is it? I pet him, he's laying here. I don't need him to pick up my car keys. I don't need anything. I need his affection. So that's what therapy dogs do. They offer that. They release pheromones. When we touch doggies, they make us feel good. So you don't have to spend $20,000. You don't have to go to breeders in Pennsylvania or wherever. Chances are you're going to get a genetic, chances, not always, you're going to get a genetically defective dog. So there's great dogs at all of our municipal shelters, especially at Little Shelter. And I think they're really cool people, right? We've had great experiences with them there. And maybe we'll have them on next week or the week after just to discuss the dogs they have. I remember a couple of, maybe last year, they brought in a bunch of puppies. You weren't here for that.
I was not here for that.
That was when Jackie was, before Jackie quit. And she was here. So David there. So Hounds Town Charities, talk about for a minute or two, Zooming Rosie. That's our other charity.
So, yes, Zooming Rosie. Zooming Rosie actually comes from California. And we went and actually picked her up. I want to say it's probably almost a month now ago. And Zooming Rosie was in a foster home there, and she doesn't have use of her two back legs, so she hops or she uses her wheelchair.
Right.
And that doesn't stop her from interacting with other dogs, going on hikes. She was climbing up canyons there.
Right.
And it's kind of inspirational because, like we were talking about that episode, that she has this supposed horrific backstory. Where she was beaten, and that's why she's disabled, and all these issues, and the dog loves everybody.
Right.
He's happy-go-lucky. She's not nervous or petrified of people.
Right. She's crazy. She's a lunatic.
Psychotic.
She runs around like and we'll have her on. She gets in a little buggy. She runs around.
Takes off.
She doesn't wake up complaining about, like I do, my back hurts, my this hurts, my that hurts. She just is an inspiration. So for those of you having a bad day, you had a flat tire today, Zooming Rosie only has 2 legs. And she wonderful. How do I know? You don't have to be an animal with behaviors, by the way, to understand these things. If you see her tail is wagging and she's running around like a lunatic, she's a happy dog.
Yeah.
You don't have to do psychological assessments on her. She's happy. Trust me, you'll see her. Zooming Rosie. Go to houndstowncharities.org and take a look and see all the wonderful dogs. Cappuccino. They're really amazing stories where they're almost dead.
Right.
And now they're part of our lives, and they again, it's what they do for us, not what we do for them. Sounds a little corny, but that's the truth. Listen to us next week. I have no idea what we're doing next week.
Yeah, not yet. Maybe we'll see Dave.
All right, we'll see Dave from Little Shelter. Who the hell knows? Thank you, Tiffany, Zeus.
Thanks for having us.
All right, we're good. Thanks, guys. Bye on Facebook.